Please welcome to the stage Sir Ridley Scott.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Big boys don't get upset. I'm quite upset right now. It's been 40 years in this business, and this is the first time they've ever given me anything, so I'm not going to go quietly. I can never be an actor because I can never remember the lines, so I've really got to do it this way. Your Royal Highness, thank you for those kind words, and to BAFTA for this fellowship. It's a tremendous honor to join this list of such great recipients. You know, I'm constantly reminded in press articles that I'm now in the octogenarian club. For those who don't know what that means, it's definitely not a discotheque. It's more like a lawn bowls club with straw hats. I wonder if the real reason behind the award is better give him something before it's too late. I've always been a late starter. Years ago, when I was 15 and headed for the GCE year, to Americans that means your most significant year, when you're about 15, big exams. My dad was reading my report card and saw that my position in class was 29th, but the number in class was 29. I'd achieved the distinction of being bottom of the class at my secondary modern school, for the 4th year running. I wasn't lazy, and I was really trying. You can imagine how I felt. Dad put his hand on my shoulder and said, you know, you can only do the best you can, but whatever you decide to do, make sure you love it. He was a really sweet guy and a great man. I know his attempt to hide his disappointment with some of his encouraging words. I was depressed for a week, but his advice was a wake-up call. Fortunately, I loved working with my hands, and I was good at two things: woodwork, yes, woodwork, and art. And I really loved to draw and paint. I was quite talented. Dad strongly encouraged me to go to art school, which in those days wasn't the obvious place that a father would suggest. The reputation of laying about, smoking, talking about the meaning of life and doing nothing in particular had a bohemian ring to it. I was excited. It really appealed to me. The education systems, worth mentioning this, at that time allowed me to go apply for art school with 1 GCE. That could never happen today. So I got into Hartlepool College of Art. The college was a revelation. It's weirdly dressed students expressing their individualism, passionate teachers who are genuinely interested in the students, not just tolerating, but actually engaging with them, a world apart from my schooling till then. It's extraordinary what an enthusiastic teacher can do, drawing the student out, igniting independence, and encouraging the design of your own future, rather than waiting for something to happen. Teaching is the most important of all professions. Sort that out, and social problems will get sorted out. Sounds simple, we've been talking about it for years, but it's absolutely vital. My teachers inspired me, and thanks to my dad's intuition, here I am tonight. So finally, I secured a place at the best art school in the world, certainly at that point, the Royal College of Art. Painting, sculpture, fashion, industrial design, on and on. I just lost my place. I was able to mooch around and utilize the facilities. You weren't taught here, you seized the opportunity. At this point, I was already in ignition mode and taught myself to deal with all the competition around me. It was tough. Some of the best were here, definitely. The painting school alone had David Hockney, Kittage, Francis Bacon wandered around and lectured us occasionally. We even had our own madman from New York as an advertising guru called Bob Gill. But there was no film school. I unearthed a small camera in the design department, a Bolex. I borrowed it to make a movie, but I didn't have a clue how it worked, so there was a small instruction book, which was new, unthumbed. No one ever used it before. Are you bored? Sure. You all right? Okay. Cut to a cold North Durham beach, a bitter day. The cast and crew of 2 are sheltering in a bus stop, and as I try to work out the stop for another take, the actor's freezing his ass off. Sorry, Your Highness. Yeah. Waiting for me to make a decision. Making a film for 65 quid is no joke. Believe me. Lesson number 1, economy is everything. The actor, worth mentioning, was a young man called Tony Scott, my brother, later of Top Gun. He'd be my partner for 50 years, and I guess you all know what we did in that time. We didn't hang around. Film is a great art form, maybe the most exciting and challenging of all occupations. I caught the first wave of independent television and enjoyed the exciting world of advertising and commercial making. This was my film school. Today, the explosion of content platforms and social media have made this a far more accessible and democratic art form, which, with an unprecedented reach, 24/7, 365 days. The opportunity to create authentic and relevant engagement, the future in film and storytelling must have a profound effect. As storytellers, we have a duty to be mindful how we use this power. We must strive to protect the core tenet of the narrative, that all the best stories tend to come from the truth, even fiction. It's important to acknowledge that entertainment can be the most powerful form of education, but documentaries have suddenly really kicked in and are taking on this position by raising global awareness. The best example of storytellers' power, when you think about this, is Blue Planet, probably the greatest commercial for our beautiful Earth. We must not lose this beautiful gift we have, because it's the only one we've got left. I think I should mention all the talents I've worked with over time, and to my kids who are all in the same business, and to my wife Janina, and Your Highness, thank you. BAFTA, thank you for this great award. I should find a very special place for it. By the way, I'm available in autumn 2019. Oh.